Welcome to Gutty Cars' first ever video road test blog. Today we are dealing with a car that was requested by a shady underworld figure known only as a Button. Suffice to say, when she contacts you, you better sit up and pay attention. So we'd had a request for a large car that was reasonable on fuel with enough space for surfboards. I don't know if surfboards is some sort of euphemism for something. Who knows? Anyway, what we did was we did a good trawl of the oldie eBay using the budget that was provided very thoughtfully by the Button. So we've managed to secure a Saab 9.5 2-litre turbo Vector. It's a 55 plate and it's also the estate version. We've got a 5-speed manual with a 2-litre 16 valve low pressure turbo in it, putting out 150 brake horsepower, which is adequate for a vehicle of this size. It's certainly not as quick as other engines that were available in the Saab range, including the 2.3, but it's sprightly enough when it needs to be. We're currently in the middle of delivering it to the Button on the A9 just south of Perth, sitting at an indicated 60 miles an hour, getting 39.7 to the gallon according to the onboard computer, which I'm sure you'll agree isn't too bad for something of this size. The car itself is actually MOT'd until next March, but it was a really good price, partly due to the fact that it's got 202,000 miles on it. I will say this in its defence, despite only being 10 years old with a high mileage on it, it does seem to hide it very well. The exterior of the vehicle's in good condition, a couple of bangs and dents, but nothing that you wouldn't expect for something of this age. And the interior, with the exception of the driver's seat, is pretty much immaculate. The driver's seat's obviously seen a few airses in its time, but overall it's a very pleasant place to be. It's quite comfortable, quite relaxing to drive. We're sitting in cruise control at the moment, which works, always handy in these average speed camera sections. In terms of the actual driving of the vehicle, the layout of the dashboard is very clear and easy to use, very simple to understand and comprehend and achieve everything that you're looking to do when you're driving the vehicle, finding all the correct buttons. However, there is one issue, which is a fairly common one with the Saabs, which is the fact that the ignition key is down by the gear lever and the handbrake. Now that in itself is not too much of a problem, except for the fact that they also put the window switches down there. So when you turn the key, if you're not careful, you end up opening or closing windows, which is a bit of a pain in the jacksie. That said, can't really complain. Overall the fit and finish is good. The cup holder still works, which is obviously a key point. It really is quite a pleasant place to be. I've managed to get the seat adjusted quite easily and I'm feeling very comfortable. As you can see, the ride quality is actually quite good in this car. It's had quite a considerable amount of work done to it in terms of dealing with the fairly troublesome rear suspension that's found on these cars. It's had new bushes etc. put in it, so the ride quality is very pleasant. The front dampers are possibly a touch tired, but again that's to be expected after 200,000 miles. It might be something that the Button would seek to invest in at a later date should she decide she wishes to keep the vehicle. You might see a bit of shaking going on. That's the super cheap mobile phone mount that I've got here. It's not the greatest in the world, but it does the job after I left my preferred one in a higher vehicle. What a did scoff. Anyway, in terms of the actual engine and the driving dynamics of the car, I've had it on some back roads and given it a wee bit of slap and tickle. I'm pleased to report that the low pressure turbo allows it to deliver a fair chunk of torque at low RPM, which means you can be fairly lax with regards to your gear selection as you're driving along. The one exception to that would be the joy of trying to put it in fifth at 30 miles an hour, where it basically drops down to idle, and it's not particularly happy, so it's much better left in fourth there. However, that extra long fifth gear does mean that the motorway speed cruising is done very comfortably, sort of between 2,500 RPM. The engine's pretty much silent at that point, so that's quite pleasant. In terms of throwing it through the twisties, it is quite a large car and it does carry a fair bit of weight, but it has to be said that the suspension is very compliant and also quite nimble in terms of allowing you to change direction. It feels quite positive, as much as a front wheel drive can be, but that's just personal opinion. The only thing I could probably ask for is a bit more feedback through the actual steering wheel. It's slightly dead and over assisted, but that's a fairly common complaint with most modern cars in my opinion. All in all, it's a very pleasant vehicle. It seems to fulfil all the requirements that the original instigator of the purchasing had, so hopefully she'll be very happy with it and I won't be sleeping with the fishes. Anyway, until the next time, see you later, bye.